My friends, the news today comes along with a warning item from Fox News. The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly voted on Thursday to condemn President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The 128 member states of the UNGA voted to condemn Trump's move, with just 7 other states joining the U.S. and Israel in voting against the resolution. There were 35 abstentions. The vote was taken shortly after the U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, issued a strong warning to states who support the resolution, reminding the General Assembly of the financial aid Washington provides to both the UN and many member states. Quote, "We will remember it when we're called upon once again to make the world's largest contribution to the United Nations," she said, "and we'll remember when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit." Haley added to Thursday's vote, quote, "Will make a difference on how Americans look at the UN and how we look at countries who disrespect us in the UN, and this vote will be remembered," unquote. That is strength. What other country on the planet has its capital city decided by the United Nations? Only Israel. So here's a friendly warning to those nations in the UN who don't think Israel has a right to choose its own capital. A friendly warning. God doesn't like countries that persecute the Jewish people. If you don't believe me, that's fine. Feel free to ask any Babylonian you know, or any Assyrian, or any Roman citizen, or any Persian, or any Third Reich Nazi, or any member of the Soviet Union. All those empires were destroyed because they persecuted and killed the Jewish people. Well, now, just like ducks in a row, the nations represented in the UN are lining up and persecuting the Jewish people. And by the way, America, too. Spitting in America's face, too. I just threw that in as an aside. What they're risking is annihilation. No, I mean real annihilation. As in apocalyptic annihilation. Prophecies say that at the end of days, all the nations of the world will gang up on the Jewish people. So you tell me whether you believe this is that prophecy or not. All I see is just about almost all the nations of the world ganging up on the Jewish people. I see them gathering for war against tiny little Israel. And I am heartened. Because as a believing Jew, I know that the end is near. And the end will be glorious. The end will be fantastic. What happens between now and the end is going to be gruesome for the human race. It's Thursday. Riell Truth. We'll be back.
Power has been providing a reliable electrical power system in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Power systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities, modest as emergency lighting, all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to greatplainssolar.com.
Are you driving a vehicle with fuel damage from summer storms? Tired of waiting months to get your vehicle repaired? Dent Vision specializes in paintless dent and nail repair. And unlike traditional body shops, Dent Vision gets your vehicle back to you in days, not weeks. Insurance approved, top quality repairs with lifetime warranty. Call today for your immediate appointment. 970-541-0679. That's 970-541-0679, or look us up at dentvisionco.com.
All right, folks, welcome back. Howard Riell Truth. As you know, if you've been listening to this show for any length of time, I'm an Orthodox Jew here on a Christian radio station. My dear friends, Michael Golden and company at KHNC, and all my listeners, been here for over 9 years, have a fantastic relationship because it's founded on mutual respect. Now, here is Mark Steyn on the Tucker Carlson show talking about what he sees as the end of Christendom in Europe, which is being covered by a Muslim wave. That augurs very badly for the planet. And that's why I'm playing this clip right now. So, whatever your religion, this affects you as well. Listen up. Mark Steyn, Tucker Carlson, Fox News from a couple of nights ago. Go.
Sweden. Pacifism. Politeness.
Hang on one second. We're having our mandatory technical problems. But they are talking about the fact that Sweden has become the rape capital of Europe.
Press to find Swedes marching in support of religiously motivated just 75 years ago, Sweden was a haven for Jews fleeing the Holocaust. Today, those same Jews fear their own neighbors again.
My friends, didn't we have precisely the same pattern here in the United States? You had these wealthy fat cats, and as soon as minorities began moving into their neighborhoods, they took off for the suburbs, but they remained ever so liberal. It was that same liberal, elitist, do as I say, not as I do attitude. And Sweden is dying of it. Sweden is effectively dead from it. Well, between you and me, I don't really give a rat's ass about Sweden. But I do about America. We see what's happening in Sweden and elsewhere in Europe. Are we smart enough to take action and keep it from happening here? Or are we going to do nothing and allow it to happen here and allow our society to crumble beneath a wave of migrants who hate us? It's still early enough in the game that we can stop and reverse it. We just have to decide whether our children's lives mean enough to us for us to actually do it. Here comes a commercial. We'll be back with more Riell Truth.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution.
You look at the blocker plan and it reminds us that the drug problem is well touched. We know our kids will be appropriate for these. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to know drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. That's your look at the blocker plan located at 366 Street in the Woods, serving our area 1943 and specializing in natural life age B and 4 and complete custom process. Call 303-658-2240. That's 303-658-2240. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian in the country, it's the people who care. Give him a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166.
All right, folks, welcome back. Ben Shapiro was a guest host on the Mark Levin show yesterday. He was talking about the major tax cut, biggest tax cut in American history came from Donald Trump and his administration. He had some very good things to say. Let's listen.
When we were promised
Now, my friends, I am not going to call Rosie O'Donnell an ignorant animal. I'm not going to call her a bovine non-intellect. And the reason I'm not going to call her these things is that I don't need to. By opening her own toilet from hell, which she calls her mouth, she shows the world exactly what a fool she is, and I could not top that. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more Riell Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Earth herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Hickory Street, using the highest quality herbs that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming, and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and grace. They're willing to put their lives on the line to us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, the two locations in Denver and Fort Hall, serving the community for over 15 years. Visit them online at chaplaincollins.com.
If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival.
All right, guys, let's talk tax cut. Because I love talking about it. Howard Riell Truth, let's throw it to Newt Gingrich being interviewed yesterday on Fox and Friends. Go.
That's how.
Anybody remember, my friends, the first few years on Riell Truth? I would have guests on, Jim Mars, Ron Paul, you name it, Jesse Ventura. And they would talk about globalists, people who want one world government. And of course, 9, 8, 7, 6 years ago, people were laughing, Ma, what are you wearing, a tinfoil hat? Now, we've seen for a long time that this is absolutely true. It's the globalists who are in retreat. It's these tinfoil hat guys who think that the UN is going to run the entire planet. I'm thinking George Soros and Henry Kissinger and that ilk. They really were planning for a one-world government. And they really are taking it up the backside now that Donald Trump has given this country back to the people. There will be no globalists, no one-world government. Instead, there will be the United States leading the way for the rest of the world. That's the way it's worked, and that's the way it will continue to work. We'll take a break and we'll come back.
Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listeners. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsored fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little one at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, welcome back. Riell Truth, Howard Riell. Remember me? Yep. Okay. Sounds like I got a caller. Caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Riell. I wanted to make a comment. I think it would be awesome. Well, that should be received for that alone. For that alone. But I think it would be wonderful if you could be guest host on the Randy Yarborough show, because you have been on the cutting edge of the alternate information scene, and you have the cumulative insight of the brightest minds in that realm, and I think it would be wonderful if that could happen. I just wanted to say, and thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you very much for the phone call. If anybody wants me to guest host anything, they know where to reach me. I'm always amenable. I appreciate the kind words. Happy holidays. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, be well. Folks, let's get Ann Coulter's take on the GOP tax reform. She's got some great things to say. Not a surprise, since the tax reform is a great thing in and of itself. Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter.
I will make a big deal of it, Ann. That's the kind of thing, the second set of rules for our legislators, that's the kind of thing that I'm afraid may one day get legislators dead. People are angry. People are sick and tired. For a second set of rules for legislators who arrogate to themselves special rights and privileges, I hope I'm wrong, we may start to see senators and congressmen laying dead in the street. And it'll be their own faults. We'll be back.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seen.
The Lord makes the council of the nation to nothing. He makes the plans of the The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation, God is Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, the two locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 14 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds that over 750,000 children were missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver is not only the best Italian in the community, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5156. 303-757-5156. Piccolo.
All right, my friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. Housekeeping note, we will be off on Monday, which means I'll be back on Tuesday with more Riell Truth. Let's finish up what Ben Shapiro said earlier about the tax cut that we heard about yesterday from President Trump. It bears repeating because there are some things that the leftist media is lying about. Chief among them, that this is a tax cut for the rich. You've heard that about 11 bazillion times, right? Well, here's the truth. Virtually everyone who pays taxes will get a tax cut. Everyone. Despite the media's insistence that it's a tax cut for the rich, virtually everyone who pays taxes gets a tax cut. The only people who see taxes increase are high-income earners living in high-tax states. This isn't the biggest tax cut in history, as Republicans have been pitching, but it's not insignificant either. According to the Tax Policy Center, the average household will receive a tax cut of $1,610 in 2018. An average household earning $1 million or more would see a tax decrease of approximately $69,660. The reason is high-income earners pay the vast bulk of taxes in this country. The idiotic idea that Americans will pay more taxes after the bill, an idea believed by 50% of the population, is simply wrong. Another one. There's a big increase in the child tax credit. That child tax credit, truly a redistribution scheme backed by some conservatives, will be boosted to $2,000 per child and will be refundable up to $1,400. That was the provision Senator Marco Rubio wanted, and one he got, and one that will be politically beneficial to Republicans in their fight to make the tax bill seem populist. Maybe the best part of all, the individual mandate is gone. The tax bill uses the death of the individual mandate to reduce deficits. That's because many of those who were encouraged to seek health insurance by the individual mandate were on Medicaid, meaning they cost the federal government billions. Now many people will opt out. The upside to ending the individual mandate is obvious. Americans will no longer be forced to purchase a good they don't want. There's a downside. The cash from the individual mandate was used to bring down costs for older and sicker members of the individual insurance market. That means Republicans will have to either reduce regulations in health care, states will have to do so, or insurance companies will have to find better ways to compete on pricing, or, alternatively, Republicans can bail out the insurance companies. Oil exploration in the Anwar is now possible. For well over a decade, Democrats have prevented the oil exploration of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. That was foolish policy, given the amount of oil expected to be found there, as well as the small footprint necessary for drilling. Concerns about the impact on wildlife have been wildly overestimated. Caribou populations have increased in areas around existing pipelines. Alaskans are likely to be far richer than they otherwise would be thanks to this provision. In all, the Republican tax bill is strong policy, and insertion of the end of the individual mandate could turn out to be the feat of political genius by Senator Tom Cotton, Republican Arkansas. The bill's unpopular right now, but that's because most Americans believe the media. When they see their taxes are lower, that effect will dissipate somewhat. That said, Republicans had better see continued strong economic growth, or voters will mistake correlation for causation and attribute any weakening of the economy to the tax reform bill, buying into the Democratic narrative that Republicans were out to help fat cats rather than middle-class Americans. This is President Trump's first big legislative win. It deserves to be cheered by conservatives. Yes, it does, my friends. It deserves to be cheered. And even as Republicans, conservatives are cheering, liberals need to be doing some soul searching. They need to figure out why they're voting for people who want Americans to pay more taxes, to be poorer, and to be less free. I'll be back on Tuesday with more Real Truth, my friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry.